What's up guys, XRP Charts here with a bit different video this morning. We're just going to have a quick look at some fractals here and see the potential of these playing out in the probably over the next week or so. This is a little bit different to the normal TA that I do. This one's a little bit more hopium, a little bit more bullish. The stuff I've been posting recently has been pretty bearish just because we are in that downtrend, but we'll try and look at something a little bit more positive today. That being said, this is just one scenario. It's just interesting to see how these fractals play out. So for those of you who don't know, a fractal is just basically a formation in the charts, or pattern in the charts that is repeated. We see it a lot through XRP especially. So we try and have a look for these things and see how the traders respond to basically human emotion, and it's just a cycle that just repeats itself. So here you can see we've had a big run up, a sharp drop down, another sharp drop down. So we try and tee that up with another pattern here. We've seen a sharp drop up, drop down, drop down. You can see that we get this long extended period down, and we've had this long extended period down, then with a bounce, then with a bounce. And so hopefully what we're looking for now is at the end of this blue box here, we start to see another big green candle, something like that. So that's what we want to have a look at. If we go into it in some more detail, we can make this a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So end of the 5-wave structure, and then bounce up. For this one as well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So a lot of things do line up here. What we want to try and do is work out where this thing's going to bounce and how it's going to bounce, if it's going to bounce. We can do that using Elliott waves and also some supports as well. So at the moment we've got this bottom trend line which works better in regular scale. So if I just zoom that out, you can see here, if we pop this on somewhere like that, right, you can see that we've down. This trend line here, we've bounced off just about every time. We've never actually completely broken through it on the linear scale. So it's touched here, and touched here. So what we want to try and do is see if when we touch this line again, that we're going to be in the same position that we were with this fractal here. So if we zoom in on this one here, you can see that we've made a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll just fill those waves in so you can see those. Right, so that's pretty good. This wave 4 doesn't retrace into wave 1 territories, that's fine. This one down the bottom, if we go on to a lower time frame, where we go into an hour, let's have a look and we'll just see what kind of pattern that we got to, whether it was just a straight impulse wave or whether it was. So here's our waves here. So we might go somewhere there like that. And that, and that. Right, and this one at the bottom here, this looks like some kind of triangle coming down into here. Right, so that for our fifth wave was possibly an ending diagonal there before we got this last little bump up and then the next run. So if we go back to our daily, right, so we see we've got that at the moment. We've got our 1 there, our 2 there, possibly our 3 there. Now we know that from yesterday's chart, this invalidation line held strong. It didn't get broken. The bears didn't let that go through there. So this is still alive too. Now what we really want to see, here's that rising support line. Now it just lines up perfectly with where this potential fifth wave could go. If we start to see this forming a triangle, I'll probably get a little bit excited, to be honest. And that does fulfill the Elliott wave rules of the third wave not being the shortest as well. This would make sure that the fifth wave is shorter than the third. The third wave in an Elliott wave structure, in a five-wave impulse structure, can't be the shortest. It's often the longest, but never the shortest. So it can be shorter than wave 1 or shorter than wave 5, so long as the other wave is shorter than it. So that works out well there. The only exception to the rules, if this whole structure forms a triangle, then it can be, it'd still be the medium-sized one in that as well. But yeah, what we want to do is see if this starts forming a triangle now to really mimic this pattern over here. So that's kind of what we're looking for over the next, what are we? Probably 4 to 7 days. So obviously, if we don't want to break above that 33.6 range that we had in there yesterday. But yeah, I'm probably a little more bearish than this. I thought we'd probably bounce off here and then continue going through, which still could be the case. But for today's purposes, we're just looking at these fractals. What I will make sure I do is have a stop loss buy in place if we do get down to here. That was this 28.5 region was my buy zone anyway, so I'll probably just buy, but I'll make sure that I'm moving my stop loss buy down incrementally over the next couple of days, just in case I'm asleep and this thing decides to fire off. Yeah, it'll just be interesting to watch. But even if we zoom back, so not just since the big pump, if we have a look at even here, we got the sharp drop, extended correction, bounce, pump up, sharp drop, extended correction, bounce, pump up. Like, it's just rinse and repeat. So yeah, look, it's plausible. It's definitely plausible. I know that the XRP BTC pair, we had that beautiful fractal that sort of is playing out now, not as well as what a few of us, including myself, hoped. The last thing that I wanted to show you as well, if we just pop it back into log to make it a bit easier, is where would we expect this to pump up to is probably going to be another question. Now we can see that these green boxes are getting smaller. The purple box is getting not as small. I think this is about a third of the size, this one's about half the size, but our blue boxes are actually staying pretty relatively similar. Now just following on that pattern, you could imagine that the pump probably might go somewhere around there, maybe 50, 55, then drop down, and then the extended correction, and then the blue. So if we might be getting something that's, don't pay any attention to the Elliott wave structure, but we might be getting something that's more sort of flat and corrected, rather than starting to get this real vertical drop down that way. So what that does sort of mimic as well is this pattern over here, is that we've had this one and then drop down, and then we might try to get something that's starting to flatten out a little bit more, just by using the size of those boxes before we get another huge pump. Now what that would mean would be another, it's heading towards the middle of the year, going through another one of these cycles. So, but yeah, I would expect it to be really quite boring and frustrating as a trader, because we would be quite possibly ranging between 60 and 40 for up to sort of 3 or 4 months. That wouldn't be unplausible at all. So. But anyway, yeah, there's lots of other things that line up with it as well. I mean, all of these diagonal support lines, that's followed through on this one. We can see here that it follows through as well. It actually, from the top of the pink formation here to the next bottom candle there, that would look like, if it was something like that, yeah, that would look like it would be the support line as well. So it'd be interesting to see if this does occur, whether a line from the top of the pink to the bottom of the first dip after the big pump, whether that then forms the support line as here as well. So a couple of little things to look out for in the next 6 months, just to see how these things play out. But yeah, I mean, if we do hold that 28, 29 region, yeah, I'll definitely be in XRP then, I think so. And then yeah, I don't think we're going to moon off that one, but we could definitely see an upward into a corrective flat pattern or something like that. So, alright guys, a little bit of fun for the day. Again, don't take it too seriously, just have a look at some patterns. Cheers guys.